And when is production?
Stan Lee cameo.
Huh?
What's the Stan Lee cameo going to be? Do you know yet?
Stan Lee cameo.
Oh, a Stan Lee cameo. Well,
He always gets one.
He always gets one. You know, it'll probably correspond to his schedule. He'll say, Stan, when can you come by? And then we'll just put him in. But I don't know, man. I don't think about. I know that stuff is fun, but it's always the last thing from my mind. Because if I were writing this apropos of nothing, the last thing I would think of was the Easter egg stuff, you know. And then Marvel will come to me and say, we need some more Easter egg stuff. We need, you know, this bit or that bit, or can we reprise Justin Hammer, you know. Like, okay, I can do it, but that's not my first instinct. My job is to make sure the story works, and then we'll put in the ho, 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 aren't we clever stuff for the Marvel universe, you know. Yes, ma'am.
Why did you decide to shoot in North Carolina?
It's all about, this is the movie companies now, it's all about the tax rebate. They even work it into the budget now. Detroit wanted us, but they shut it down. They shut down the rebate. And North Carolina was just a more competitive bid, plus beautiful stages, a lot of little towns to shoot in that we can own. We can basically go in and say, all right, we got the place, we have the town. It's a great place. I really didn't want to shoot in Detroit that much, so I'm glad we got it. And also, honestly, I want to get out of LA.
Yeah?
mean,
Well,
don't you-
it seemed like a character. Like all the other superhero movies were always very New York City, and that's what sort of set Iron Man apart, was the LA backdrop. But I mean, I'm not hating on this decision, because I mean, North Carolina's really different too. But I haven't even seen it yet. I was just curious what drove that.
Well, it was a financial consideration, because you keep in mind, when we're filming in North Carolina, that means there's a big stage in North Carolina that's going to look the same as the stage if we had it here in LA.
Right.
We're not talking about the cities in North Carolina so much as the indoors. Now, there are places in North Carolina we're going to doll up to look like the locations we've had to find in Los Angeles. But overall, it's just, it feels like good karma, good vibrations. You know, the Avengers were shot in Cleveland and New Mexico. They didn't go to New York City. They spent like, what, 3 weeks there? Out of the 20 weeks and 20, 30 weeks, whatever it is. How many weeks did Avengers shoot? What's a 78-day schedule? 5 days a week.
How do you feel about that long schedule?
It's funny, because even though we didn't have a long schedule on Kiss Kiss Back Up, we had 37 days. Halfway through, I said, please just end. Because every additional day, if I got my shots that day, okay, got it. The next day was another chance to fuck up. It's like, end so I won't have another day to fuck up, and I'll just have the footage to go play with. Because in the editing room, then you go, oh, thank God. There's no longer any proactive stuff during the day that I have to take care of. I can just sit here and fiddle with whatever you got. And film is a tinkering medium. You know, you never finish a film, you stop. You just stop filming, and in some ways you stop editing. Sorry, this Harlequin went by with a nose about this long. It's like, what the fuck? People are insane. He's got his bells in his head and giant
This is why
nose.
Comic-Con is fun.
Anyway. Yes, the woman hidden by the man's head. That's you.
Size is normal size, so I figured it's not, okay. This isn't really about the movie, but I'm curious, what did you originally go to school for? Like, what did you originally want to do?
I originally studied theater.
Okay.
Yeah. Had these.
So more on the acting side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted to be an actor.
So then where do you think you came to end up where you are right now?
I had this group that I hung out with, and I would encourage you guys to be part of a writer's group, a director's, whatever you want to do, be part of a group, because you help each other.
Compatible guys.
Yeah, that's it. And so when a friend of mine started writing a screenplay, I had no idea how to write a screenplay or what the format was, what they looked like, or even that screenplays were written. To me, growing up in Pittsburgh, movies and TV just came over the air and appeared on your screen. I don't think people wrote that. You know, some was better than others, but it was the magic fairy, and he's had on days and off days with his fairy dust movies. And, It just, shit's going back.
They're cold.
No, of course.
Tell them we said hello. Well, we're up to, what are we up to, 5:25 here?
But isn't that
5:25,
So,
I mean, should we keep going, or are we done? It's such a shame, really.
Just take a couple more questions, that's fine. I didn't even answer that one. Where was it? Something about what I started. No, so but when I finally, my friend Fred gave me a script to read, and I thought, it was like, blew me away. Fred Decker, my friend who co-wrote The Monster Squad with me. It was so good and so simple. The rules, interior, exterior. What are you, inside or outside? Okay? And what, is it day or is it night? That's it. Now, go off and play. And it just seemed like the thing to do. And I tried it, and I had a knack for it. The other thing is I read books. Like I said, I was this isolating kid. You know, if you read a book, a novel, every 2 or 3 days for 40 years, your head gets stuffed with stuff, and you start to exude that. You start to you have an inner vocabulary for when things are working and when they're not. You develop at best an objectivity, which is what a writer can hope for. And that's all you really can hope for, is the knowledge of when you're doing well. I'll look at a page of script to this day and say, oh, God, this sucks, and I'll put it away in the drawer, and a year or a week or a month later, I'll read it again. What was I thinking? This is fun, this is great. Similarly, I'll be over the moon about something one night that I finally nailed it, and in the morning I'll get up and look and say, what was I thinking? I must have been on drugs. This is ridiculous. This is terrible. And it just goes objectivity. It's the pursuit of objectivity. And I found it through friends of mine who were able to pass pages back and forth. It was like a writer's group, like a club. And we'd get together at all hours and make little movies and watch movies and argue about film. And I would say, hey Fred, you know the bit with the cigarette, can I use that I want to use that in my script. Sure, here you go. And the same for me to him. None of this, I'll sue you. No, nothing like that. There was no hint that we would ever be litigious or even just discourteous about borrowing, shaping, changing, exchanging information, and just supporting each other. And we started as buddies. It wasn't some kind of thing where let's get together and then we'll all make money together. No, we were just friends, and it translated beautifully into a relationship with the industry where we all sort of reached down and helped each other up the ladder. So I encourage everyone here, don't do it alone. It's a lonely business, writing. You know, it's you basically in your attic, typing at night, thinking, my mom will read this, but no one else may. What if this is just what I'm doing now, but no one reads it? And so it's better not to be alone. Even if you're failing, if you're in a sinking boat, the boat's sinking, you're going to drown. At least there's somebody you turn to saying, we're going to drown. Like, I know, I'm terrified. Yeah, me too. You know, it gives you someone to talk to while you drown. It's just better than being alone. You know? So form your writers groups, join your writers groups. Don't be isolated incidents. Look what happened with the Occupy movement, man. They just got together and shit everywhere.
Yes.
I love the Occupy movement, man. I'm on my way down there. We have to take a dump right now, so.
We leave it now, or we keep going?
Well, there's one man back.
I
Yeah.
just want to say that Iron Man 3 is as good as this panel. It's going to be the best of the three.